Hello, everybody. Welcome to yet another happy episode of Can We Talk?
My name is Andy.
And I'm Andy's wife. I just had to squeeze in happy.
Why?
Happy. We're generally happy people. Everyone has to be happy every time.
Oh, wow.
No, I'm joking. That is not healthy. But anyways, yeah. We're generally happy people. And
Yeah, shout out. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you for the feedback that we're receiving. We see you commenting. We see your likes. We see your comments. Please continue to share. Much love to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Even when we meet some of you in town,
Yeah.
you do comment and you do share on things that can help us to grow the podcast. So we are so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you very
so
much. We really appreciate it. Yep.
So what are we talking about today, dear husband of 5 years? Of
half a decade.
Half a decade.
Half a decade.
All right, I never learn.
You never do. Take you for your progress class.
Wow.
As people of faith, there is a scripture in the Bible.
Right.
I think it's in John chapter number 2. And it speaks about how Christ went to a wedding. And many preachers use that scripture when they are preaching at weddings. And then it says, and Christ was invited to a wedding.
Right.
And whilst he was there, the wine ran out. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
And so we can then get the counsel that you will be in marriage and the wine runs out. So when the wine runs out.
Yeah. I think the most complicated part, actually, this is just coming to my mind while you were speaking, that Christ was in the wedding and still the wine ran out. So most of the times we want to think that marriage is going to be swift because we are Christians or our foundation is on Christ.
Right.
Christ was there, but the wine ran out. So even in your marriage, you started it in a correct knot. Everything was okay. You got married in a church, and then somehow the wine runs out. Things that you were not expecting.
I'm chuckled by the fact how you say you got married in church and so on. I do have a preacher friend who used to say, just because you got married in church does not make your marriage or wedding holy.
Yeah. I think as people, we generally confuse that.
Yeah.
We think, because I had my wedding in a church. My ceremony was a church. Yeah. Everything should be fine.
Yeah.
But, I did mention that your foundation is okay. So by that, I meant it's
okay.
right.
Now I understand. Okay, now I understand.
Yes,
so,
Christ is the center of it all. Yes.
Okay, so in our journey of 5 weeks to half a decade, has the wine yet run out for us, or have you seen tidbits or teasers rather to say? Be careful, begin to top up because the wine is about to run dry or it has run dry.
I think we try to find solutions before we get to the point where it gets to the extremes. What am I saying? When there is something that is not sitting well with me, we try to communicate about it. We try to find solutions before it becomes something big.
Right.
Yeah. So maybe what I meant was Christ is the center of everything, and then you did everything by the book. You involved Christ from the onset up to the time you got married. So everything has always been about Christ. But then in it, the wine still ran out.
So are you able to unpack what wine running out means?
So I think we all get into marriage hoping to maintain the same relationship that we had. The love has to be in the same level. But there comes a point in time where things are not really the way they were when you started or when you met or when you were dating. There are a lot of things that happen along the way in marriage. So some of the things you will help me on this. So the first thing is growing apart. So in relationship, there is people do grow apart. I know it may sound difficult or sound, like we are spending time together. How do we grow apart?
Yeah.
Especially these days, there's social media. People grow apart while they are listening to different things.
Yes, yes.
As a couple, I may be following so and so, and you're following so and so.
Yeah.
And I find myself attached to that person instead of being attached to you.
Oh, wow.
And our relationship, we drift apart because of that. And then because of the other thing still on growing apart is education.
Really?
Yes. So one is more educated, or one is still advancing themselves, and the other is still on the level that they were when they got married. So I think the conversation changes. The people that you have in your circle changes because you are now in a certain level.
All right.
So I think it's important for couples to try to grow together. I'm not saying go to school together. I'm not saying go and learn the same thing. But when the other party is putting in something, make sure you pour in something as well. Be it going to school or reading a book, be connected to something so that you can grow together.
All right.
So that your conversations are meaningful.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
All
so
right.
you can't have one person being higher than the other because the conversations won't make sense.
All right.
Yes. Whether you're reading the Bible and the other person is doing something, but read something so that your conversations can be relevant.
All right.
So that is on growing apart. That is the other thing that causes the wine to run out. You are growing apart. You can't relate to the things that used to tickle your fancy when you were still a boyfriend and girlfriend, or in the first year of marriage. So the distance has just, there's a drift. And things are just changing. So the one is run out. And then the second thing is boredom.
Boredom?
People get bored in marriage.
Wow.
You're doing the same thing over and over again. The other week we had something, this preacher was saying, imagine if I were to go to my wife and say, I love you. I love you. I love you. So you have to, he was talking about it in a different context.
Yes.
But my point is, find new ways of doing things.
Wow.
Because generally as human being, we it gets monotonous to receive the same thing the same way. Imagine eating pap and chamolia every day, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, 7 days a week. It ends up being monotonous. If it's pap and charms, serve it on the Eiffel Tower, like my husband usually says. I can eat anything, but as long as it is
the environment,
served, that's the thing. That's my point. You get me? So if you are serving food or whatever it is, make sure you change the tone every time.
Oh, wow.
If you are used to receiving gifts, make sure you give as well. Surprise your husband. Let him find you wearing something appealing. Let it not be boring. I know she sleeps in a t-shirt every time.
Of a political party.
That is worse. But anyways, that's bottom for you. So the wine can easily run out because there is no effort. So like you were saying, that I think we are saying it in this platform, wake up every day wanting to fight.
Yes, fight for
So how are you fighting for your marriage? Are you changing things? Are you changing the setup in the bedroom? Are you, as a husband, what are you doing? Are you bringing a lunch bar? Are you bringing a PS chocolate written I love you? And then the next day, flowers? Something like that. Let marriage be colorful.
All right.
And then the other thing is finance. Finance can
make the wine run out. Okay.
Yes. So, for instance, if one party or one individual, one spouse is working and the other spouse is not, they can easily get frustrated or tired. They can easily feel drained because they are supporting the whole family on their own. Imagine you're the only one who's bringing income. You have to serve me. You have to serve our kids. You have to serve your family. You have to serve my family. Shout out to Black Taxing. But anyways, so you are strained.
Oh, really?
But there needs to be a balance. I'm not saying the wife has to work or the husband has to work, but I'm saying do something. Whether if it means you're working, you're bringing the money, and I try to buy something and spend the money, or I try to allocate it for it to be enough for everything, so that we do not frustrate each other. That way it flourishes. So the wine can run out when the finances are not managed well. Or if you are bringing the money, and the first thing that comes to my mind is nails, makeup, my hair. There is nothing to do with family or growth. We are not growing as a couple. I'm just feeding my own needs. Then that way the wine can run out. So I need to think about the marriage holistically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So would that then include things like your personal business? So let's say you're working from home in sewing, or as a tailor, or as a seamstress. So would that make the wine run out if you're wanting fabric, or machine, you're servicing your machine, or you're buying your bakery products if you're a baker or something? Would that still make the wine run out if we were to be investing in that part of you, or investing in you that way? I understand dolling yourself up, but what about that?
Definitely not, but it needs to be planned for.
Okay.
We can't take the whole income and put it in that business.
All right.
When the payback period is, so many years later.
Okay.
So we need to have a good balance. Let's buy food, and then maybe the other half goes to your business. Or let's do this, it goes back to communication and planning.
All right.
Sit down and think it's going to come later. But anyways, sit down and plan, and then you set priorities.
All right.
Okay, I understand you want to do a business, which is good for us. You want to do something, and in the long run, it's going to help us. But for now, let's feed into other things, and then the remaining will be building up to your business.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the other thing is past traumas.
Past traumas.
Past traumas. Past experiences. So the wine can run out because I'm bringing in myself as I am. My mom used to beat me up. Not that is what used to happen, but an example. My mom used to beat me up so hard, or I used to experience some form of abuse in the family, and then now I'm coming into the marriage with that mindset. I'm thinking men are like that. They beat up women. Right. And I'm no longer seeing you. I'm no longer seeing you for who you are. I'm now thinking he's here to beat me up. When you raise your hand, maybe you are just waving to someone. I'm already thinking, it's happening to me. It's happening to me.
Oh, wow.
So that can easily cause the wine to run out. You are thinking of why is she acting like that? Because you generally don't understand. And I'm thinking, he's a monster because my dad used to, to do that.
Okay.
So the past traumas, and then it includes stress as well, and all that. But anyways, losing yourself. There are a lot of things that can cause the wine
to run out
in marriage.
Oh, okay. All right. So in your 5 weeks to half a decade,
right?
Are you able to share a sneak peek? Let's peek behind the marital veil.
Wow.
And what would you say about yours? Would you say in our relationship over the last half a decade, if we were to let our viewers take a peek, would you say the wine is running out, or we're at a moment where it ran out, or things like that?
I think for us, the biggest, I'm not sure if we shared it in this platform. Personally, for me, it was our birth story, because we went through a lot of things, a lot of changes.
Our birth story?
Giving birth.
Oh, when we had our baby. Okay, all right. I was getting
Giving
worried
birth.
there. Okay, all
When
right.
we
When
gave
we
birth.
when we gave birth. Okay.
We.
Okay, all
When we
right.
bought a baby.
You from the hospital, yeah.
There were a lot of changes that happened.
Uh-huh.
And I felt like we were missing each other, not missing in the sense of the affectionate missing. We were not getting each other
Right.
on everything,
Uh-huh.
on literally everything. So you had your own traumas because you were waiting outside the theater room because of so many things, and you didn't get to see the whole process. And you were waiting for more than 2 hours, you say?
Yes.
Yeah, for 2 hours, and you had your own battles that you were fighting. And I was thinking, oh my
Mental
God,
battles.
this guy, he's not really helping me. Why is he so, not so involved? So I felt like we were growing apart at that time.
Okay.
Or I felt like we were losing each other. We were
Okay.
not in sync. A lot had changed, and within a short space of time, we changed from being just the two of us to having
parents,
a third person, and we were now parenting. We were now changing diapers.
Yeah.
We are now nursing a baby, nurturing a human being.
Yeah.
So that for me was that the wine ran out at that period.
Well, I would like to say that it reduced. I don't want to say it wrong.
Okay.
Ran
Yeah.
out.
No. It reduced, my guy. Thank you. It reduced. It didn't
Yeah.
run out.
No. Yeah, it's okay. So you're looking back at half a decade and you say,
Yeah.
well, we're still going okay. We're still going strong. I know
Yeah.
I've got friends who've been in this on this journey rather for a couple of years, and they were like 4 years, 5 years, you're still
Yeah.
nothing, it's going to get
Losing.
real, and so on and so on. So
So is it real now for you?
not really, but my point is those people were saying it's too early for us to comment about the wine running out. It's still honeymoon phase or honeymoon stage for us now. Go for another 5 years, then you can start commenting. That's what it was a different context.
Maybe
It was a
it's
different
because of the growth of the family, for them to say that. I don't want to say they're wrong because I haven't experienced
10
that.
years, yeah.
Yes. But from what I've seen so far, I feel like it gets better. The more you spend time together, the more it becomes so beautiful. So I don't know. I don't want to say they're wrong.
Yeah.
I'm willing to experience, because when we got married, people were saying, "You're getting married. You'll see for yourselves." We're still waiting to see.
Oh wow. But it shouldn't come, mate.
No.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
not coming.
Okay. All right. No, I get you. So, what are some of the nuggets or personal nuggets that you can share from our journey? They could be in line with some of the
Okay,
pointers that you started
alright.
with, or it could be just some of the nuggets. How do we keep the wine jars filled, or
Yeah.
what did Jesus fill the?
The jars.
The
Oh
jars.
no, the gallons. I don't know.
Yeah. But how do we keep them full?
Okay.
Or how do we?
I feel like we have talked about this before, but it has helped us a lot. Communication. That's for starters. I won't say much about it because we have talked about it. And then planning together as a family is very essential.
Right.
Very essential, because you might be spending time together, but you don't really know the goals that you are pushing as a family. You might be thinking we are in sync, yet your husband is thinking, we are building a house. Then
Yeah.
you're thinking we are buying a car.
Yeah.
And that way you are delaying progress because you are envisioning different things altogether. So you need to set goals together, plan together, and write budgets together. That way you're able to run the race faster
Yeah. Oh,
than
okay.
someone who is, people that are running the opposite directions.
Yeah. Interesting. I heard something recently, very recently.
Right.
And it spoke about how, as a family, you had to come together as a family and make a discussion. So, to use your example, even if you're building a house, don't come and then you say, this is the house, we are building this is where we're moving in. Because the family will then come and say to you, well, that's his house.
Yeah.
He's the one who built it.
Yeah.
We
We
don't,
don't-
they have no say
Yeah.
in it, and so on. It was quite challenging. It was a slightly different context about how it was a lesson for me to how to pull people in, how to listen to people, how people grow differently. So they were like, we don't want to say, even if you are leading an organization, people will now do it out of, well, he said it, he's the
Yeah.
boss, he's the
Yeah.
leader, he's the manager,
Yeah.
and so on. So what
Yeah.
can we do?
Yeah.
But if you involve the people, make people understand,
Right.
get them part of the decision making process, and then you find that there is a buy-in. So
Yeah.
even for us as well, I think
Yes.
we talk, we communicate,
Yeah.
to say this is what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Where I can be doing alone, I'll be doing until it gets to a stage
Yes.
where you can be doing alone, you'll be doing, because I know at least
We have
we've
talked about
talking
it,
about, but
yeah.
where it needs our dual response, I think that's where we come together and
Yeah.
discuss.
And I think that the other, there's something that we have been hearing from different people, but we implemented it in a different way. The issue of phones, how it can damage relationships, how you can connect to other people, yet you are literally in the same bed,
Yeah.
So we tried not to, we tried being the operative word. One of us tried.
Yeah.
Who is that, dear husband, you are really, you're really strict on that, which is
Yeah.
good. I really appreciate it, because you remind me even when I forget, but no phones in the bedroom. That's our time. We are supposed to be connecting. We are
Yes.
supposed to be communicating about the things that we might have missed during the day.
Yeah.
That way we are keeping the relationship in an okay state, or in a good or better
Yeah.
state.
Right.
There's an example I had mentioned, that we were told of how a certain family has a bowl. When you
Yes.
get into
In
the
the
house,
house,
you put your phone in a bowl.
Yeah.
So I would recommend it, because I think it's so beautiful. I miss those days when families would just sit
Yeah.
and watch together and then discuss, and it
Discuss,
becomes
yeah.
a family soapy.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
during the day you're literally thinking about it and talking about it and laughing about it, because there was still that unity.
Yeah.
But now someone is on their phone, they are watching something different.
Different, yeah.
You are on your phone, you're watching something different, and there's nothing that is connecting you.
Yes.
Or even when you're reading the Bible, I'll read in my bedroom, then you open your Bible, and it's not the same. There is
okay.
need for family prayer
Yeah,
time,
time.
where you connect, even not with each other, but with the Lord,
Okay.
and
Alright.
together as a family, and hear what he has to say about you and for you as a family. Of course, personal devotions are important, but that family one as well, I think, is important, equally important as well. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so what I think we might have mentioned this indirectly or in other episodes, where it's different backgrounds and coming in of two different backgrounds. Would that not cause one to rift, or the fight that comes, or the disagreement that comes, especially with the background? This is how we do things. Oh no, but this is how I used to do things, or different passions.
Yeah.
I remember how your happy place is cleaning. That's your happy place.
It is.
Now, over and above doing this or that, you could clean
The whole day.
and
I'll
you
be okay.
Yeah, I'm the exact opposite. It's just do
Yeah.
just a little bit, or make the house clean,
Yeah.
but not thorough cleaning or spring cleaning. And let's have, let's say, quality time, for example, or let's go out, or we take a walk, or things like that. So have we navigated, or did we navigate it well? The differences or the fights or the disagreements, do we navigate them well? I get that doing things differently, but in terms of the fights, in terms of the disagreements that can escalate, that can heat up or something. Or if I can ask, have you ever wanted to pack your bags and say, I'm going back to my mom?
Never.
I mean, such a sweet guy. I am.
You try.
But it's things like that where
Yeah.
you get so you're heated into your disagreements or your arguments or your fights. Have we ever had that, and how do you navigate that?
I think we we have had that, especially in our first year of marriage, which is very normal because we were still figuring things
things
out.
out.
And you place a bowl there, and my husband says, "No, bowls stay there,"
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I was in his space. You put a mop there, he moves it to the other side. But I think you just get tired. Some of those things are not really, they solve themselves because it's not serious issues that were making us fight. It was just minor issues, like living together kind of issues.
Okay.
It wasn't really like infidelity type of thing.
Okay.
But that I'm now in your space and you are now in my space. How do we make it work?
Right.
I think one of the things, I don't know who gave up, but I strongly believe it was the man. Because now he doesn't even know where things are. He doesn't even know where the mop is.
Yeah, I mean, choose your battle.
I think you chose your battle. You
Yeah.
just gave up.
Yeah.
And I easily got onto the role and started managing the house. Just to give context, I moved into your apartment.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I think over time we ended up just figuring things out, and yeah, it has been working. So you gave up.
Really? So the wine jars are full, 6 brims full, and it's the best wine. Would you say this?
Oh, the
half
best.
a decade later?
The best.
Oh, wow.
It gets. What do they say?
It's sweeter
wine with age.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets better with age.
Okay.
That type of a thing.
Okay.
I think it does. I
Right.
honestly think it does.
Okay.
And yeah, I think that our strongest, I will keep saying this until it becomes us. Communication has really been our strongest point. We try to talk about things, and even if we don't really have anything to talk about, we do talk. Like even a conversation that doesn't make sense.
Okay, I get you. But, the whole aspect of this podcast is, can we talk? So was
Right.
it not the wine running out when we were saying, can we talk? When one was saying, can we talk, more than the other, of course. But was
No,
it
that
not
you
that?
mentioned. No, that you mentioned. The wine has been running out. No, I'm joking. It wasn't really running out. It was reducing because, I think I mentioned it as well. How some names were saved in your phone.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
how some communication was, this is getting uncomfortable. All those things. Yeah.
Okay.
So the wine was reducing little by little, and it was hard. I think the hardest part was I was trying to communicate to you that this is what is happening. You have to be careful.
Yeah.
You're about to throw yourself into a pit. And I felt like you were not seeing it. But what helped us on that was community.
Community.
Right. We had people that spoke into our lives as if they knew what we were going through, if you remember. And they touched on that and they sat on it. And so that's why I encourage people to have people around them. If you can have like monthly meetings with other couples, you will learn a lot.
Right.
So from their lives, we got to appreciate that the direction that we are taking.
Yeah.
I need to fix myself. So
Okay.
yeah, that for me. And for you?
Yeah, I was about to ask to fight for the guys to say, yo, how come the guys? I was
Okay.
waiting for
Did
it.
the wine run out at some point?
Plenty
Or you
times
felt,
I need a whole episode.
goodness gracious me. Who is your wife? Who is your wife?
Yeah.
And what is she doing to you?
Yo. You'll be shocked.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good things, I bet.
Well, let's just say it was tilting and tilting and tilting. But that's for another episode one time when I'll discuss about that.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it's another episode of
Can We
Talk?